Well, a dramatic economic reversal in the United Kingdom. It comes as Prime Minister Liz Truss is facing growing calls to resign, including many from within her own party. She's been on the job for just 6 weeks. Today, Truss's new Treasury Minister, Jeremy Hunt, ripped up almost all of her economic plan. It's a major U-turn. He rolled back her energy policy, as well as some controversial tax cuts. Hunt spoke today in the House of Commons.
This government will take the difficult decisions necessary to ensure there is trust and confidence in our national finances. That means decisions of eye-watering difficulty.
Truss didn't stay around to answer questions. Instead, she sent one of her senior cabinet ministers. The move did not sit well with the leader of the opposition Labour Party. He accused her of hiding away and being scared of her own shadow. Truss responded in an interview with the BBC, saying, "I am sticking around because I was elected to deliver for this country. I do want to accept responsibility and say sorry for the mistakes that have been made. Now, what I'm focused on is delivering for the public." Wilfred Frost joins us tonight, live from Downing Street. Wilf, welcome. Always great to see you. Prime Minister Truss's authority appears to be crumbling by the day, so give us a sense of the scale of what happened today. And I ask this with all due respect, because American democracy can be messy at times as well.
Oh, no, the respect is appreciated, but we totally understand the question. It's been an extraordinary, embarrassing couple of weeks for our country. Look, the significance of today is not just the U-turn itself, not just the rejection driven by the markets of a fiscal expansion. It's how severe the U-turn was and how quickly it came after the new finance minister was appointed just on Friday. I don't think the Prime Minister fully appreciated that he would do so extensively, so quickly when she appointed him, but she had no choice but to accept it. She's too weak to remove another finance minister, had to sit there in somber silence as he tore to shreds her economic principles. And I think it is fair to say tonight, Tyler, that the occupant of number 11 Downing Street, the finance minister, is more powerful than the occupant of number 10, the Prime Minister. Unprecedented.
So the Labour Party now seeing a big lead in polls. Can Truss survive with so little apparent support within her own party? And when are elections scheduled in the UK?
A big poll lead is an understatement. Labour 56% tonight, the Conservatives on 20%. Just astonishing, the scale of deficit for the incumbent Conservative Party, the Tories. If there was a general election tomorrow, they would be obliterated, Tyler, but there isn't one scheduled until December 2024. It's highly unlikely there'll be one soon, because to bring that date forward would require Conservative MPs to vote for one, which they're not going to do when they're so far behind in the polls. But that does not mean that Liz Truss is safe. She is there at the mercy of her own MPs. And with polls like that and the other litany of errors in recent weeks, it's really a question of when, not if, they decide to remove her. And for the timing, they're thinking of what would be least damaging for their party, given that, of course, they already removed her predecessor just months ago, earlier this summer.
Yeah. How have the markets been reacting in the UK to all this today?
Well, one small silver lining is the market reaction to this more fiscally conservative approach announced today was positive. The pound up 1.7% against the dollar. We did see gilt yields at the long end of the curve come down. Quite a big move for one day, 40 basis points, but still significantly elevated from when Liz Truss came to office. She was last week at the mercy of both markets and her MPs. Today, much more so on just her MPs. But the slight positive short-term improvement in markets, the credit for that is going to the Chancellor of the Exchequer, not the Prime Minister.
Wilf, great as always to see you. Wilfred Frost from London tonight for us.